Good afternoon, Pastor Ayodele Ajilore. I hope you are doing very fine today, sir.
To the glory of God. Thank you.
Yeah, to our audience out there, welcome to Navigation with Ayo. It's a special broadcast today, and it's going to be more or less like an audience show. Don't pardon. Just assume that the audience is behind the camera as we have a kind of chit chat with our pastor, our dear pastor. Of course, once again, welcome to Navigation with Ayo. And today we are going to be treating a very topical issue that is very pertinent to every young adult and every youth out there. And today's topic is marriage today, and marriage of the future. When we say marriage of yesterday, we are talking about our fathers, our mothers of those days, of that are in their 50s or 60s days, these days. Then when they want to get married, hey, they don't say, oh, I love you, I know, I love you, mommy, I love you, daddy, or better yet, then I love you, Bobo, I love you, baby. The parents just go to the family, oh, we like your daughter, we like your family, we like you to we like to have your daughter's hands in marriage. And if the other party or the other family agrees, they will make a kind of investigation to the family, and they are okay too. They will make their list, and before you know it, marriage happens, and the couple will live to love each other, to accept each other, and to with whatever fault there is. And then there is no the rate of divorce as we have today it's not the same, because then, not that they love each other so well, not that they have the chemistry, but the values are so well that is well respected, that we don't have that kind of divorce we have today. So let's start from the very beginning, sir. What is your perspective about the marriage, if you are to contrast it, the marriage of those years, that is the marriage of those years, that is yesterday. When I say marry me yesterday, I'm talking about those that some 70s, 80s, 50s, 60s, as the case may be, and the marriages that are happening in this very age and time we are in right now, sir.
Thank you very much. Very interesting topic. Growing up, I was fortunate to witness people getting married, families interacting with our other family to take a wife. The fond experience that is coming to my recollection now was that they will approach family of the husband to be, we send a delegate to the family of prospective wife, if I can put it like that. They will say to the family that we've seen a flower in your garden and we would like to plug it. That is always the beginning of the conversation. It's not that the husband will not have seen the lady before, or that the lady will not have seen the husband to be before. And things that usually happen then was that the two individuals can be in different parts of the country. In fact, I've seen proposals made on behalf of somebody who is in Europe, in Americas, or in northern part of our country. But they will still send a delegate. They will still send somebody to go and inquire. And before they begin to take that step, there will have been background check. Like you said, you said something very fundamental. That of chemistry, values, and possibly integrity, in quote, of the family involved. So, but growing up, we realized that even in our own generation, there are things that the current generation of family to be, they don't seem to like arranged marriage. But I can tell you for free that even in our own time, there was still arranged marriage. The arranged marriage might not be as tedious as it was during our parents' time, because I remember when I was going to pick my girlfriend, now my wife in the last 44 years. A friend of mine that we were classmates from when we left university when we left college to go to England, introduced me to his sister. In fact, he introduced me to two of his sisters. Like, I always get fun out of it. One was smoking, the other was not smoking. So I went for the not smoking. If you look at it that way, it's still an arranged marriage. I was introduced. People are still being introduced to friends, to family members, and that could result into marriage, and is resulting into marriage. But in this generation, you find it difficult to introduce your son, your daughter, your family members, extended and nucleus, to a woman out there, a lady out there. They just say, I'm not interested, or they are not interested. Did I contract you to look for a wife or girlfriend for me? So there are differences, in those three areas: generation past, generation present, and I can't say what will happen to generation future.
Now, thank you very much, sir, for that incisive analysis. So, if we are to look at it closely, in those days, the rate of divorce is not as high as what we have today. And should we say there's the kind of chemistry or love, should we call it, between couples of today and couples of those days? Is it that it varies, or it's not the same? What would you say is responsible for this, sir?
I think if I can look at it the way it has been progressing over time, in those days there are a lot of things involved. No wife, no husband will want to let their parent down, because they know the implication. You mentioned three things that I said earlier: value, respect, and I think the other one is dignity or whatever. You won't want to. And we are living in a society then that is not as cosmopolitan as we are now. Neither is the superhighway technology, so to say, was available, but there was respect for the nucleus family and the extended family, that you won't want to do things that will bring the value or devalue your family. But we live in a society now, if you will agree with me, or listeners, if they will agree with me, that parents and their ward or their children are now being removed. You can be in Nigeria, your children could be in Americas, they could be in India, they could be anywhere in the world. And we are getting to a stage now, if I may include this, that as Nigerian, my cousin just picked his wife now. My brother's son just picked his wife now from India. My children just have their wife from Turkey. Some are married into Ghanaian country, and some are married into Nigeria. So there is this diversity, which is good in marriage. It's good to have diverse culture, diverse religion, diverse country coming together to make a world a livable place. So I still think it's going to be game, in the real sense, if we are going to make the world a global village. It's an extension of technology, and it's working.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We now take it further. It is deeper now. It has to give you kind of a crash counseling for youth or for intending couples. What would you say? There are probably a 5-point agenda, a 5-point, 3-point, as the case may be. Okay, for intending couples, what should be the pathway in securing that peace of mind in securing that long-lasting relationship. Because the Bible said, "I hate divorce." So that means God, not in any way like for couples to get divorced or to be divorced in their journey of life. So what would you say, be it male or female, a Christian male or female that is matured enough financially, mentally, emotionally to get married? What would you say at the maybe 5, 3, 4 points, as case may be, as the speak leader, to say that these are the things that a Christian or godly male or female should look out for when getting that partner, when getting that spouse?
I think, if I may quickly, I will advise couples. I will advise couple to know their partner before going into a relationship. I will expect them, because the disrespect that I notice in marriages is mostly to do with financial, especially when I counsel or prepare people for their marriage in ministry. There is a need to look at the value system that you said earlier. Is the value that the wife is bringing to the husband, are they compatible? Are they religiously compatible? Are they financially going to be compatible? I didn't say financially compatible. I said, are they going to? Because when I got married, my wife and I, we were jobless. Jobless in the sense that I was just finishing my master's degree. My wife was just finishing his first degree. Then how can we have financial, stability? But my wife knew that there was potential, because women are very calculative. I'm glad to say this about women, because they are particular about the success of whatever they lay their hand upon. And maybe that is the reason why I would be thinking or suggesting that nations should allow women to rule. You understand? Because they are very calculating, they are responsible, they are forward thinking, even when it comes to what they want to be. So how we look at financial compatibility, religious compatibility, educational compatibility, because if you marry a non-believer and you are extremely a believer, and you think you can convert an incoming wife, that you can convert her or him immediately into whom you are, you may be going the wrong way, because love, people fall in love. And I used to say to people, if you fall in love, you might find it difficult to get up. Falling in love is a dangerous place to be. So, like you said, and I collaborate with my own opinion. Be in love. Let it be genuine. Let your finances be discussed properly. And this is the mistake that some pastors are making also. When we are counseling and preparing people for marriage, we should talk more on money. Money is important. Just like money is the instrument that drives the ministry, money is also going to be the instrument that will drive marriage. You understand? There is an adage that to get married is easy. Is when it comes to begin to put money down for soup, for provision, that problem begin to arise. So, like I said earlier, we have to, future couple need to look at their religious compatibility, compatibility, financial compatibility, social compatibility, and probably look at their family. Look at their family, because if you are a single person from your family and you are marrying a wife that is bringing 5 brothers and sisters, there might be challenges. Somebody was telling me just a couple of days ago about somebody who married from certain part of the country, and in that part of the country, the dowry is so humongous, is so massive, that when they now got married, the family of the wife were expecting the husband to train 5 of his siblings, and that really affected their relationship. We should learn from situations happening around us. Church pastors or leaders should be truthful in their counseling. We should go to the deep or to the bottom of how to start a marriage and prepare for eventuality. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for that wonderful insight. Maybe what I can pick from that is that maybe in those days, men and women grow in love. These days, men and women fall in love.
Exactly.
So I mean, we also have some audience, maybe audience question for that to answer here. So, madam, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, I have a question here. It says, when challenges arise in marriage, how can couples tackle it? When different challenges, issues arise in marriage, how can a couple tackle it in the marriage? Do we run to a counselor or to pastors or to our parents? How do we tackle it as a couple?
Or they shouldn't run to anybody at all. Exactly. A kind of a template, God gave a godly template they can use, or a format they can use to solve issues that arise or that from the marriage.
Because I actually have a friend that just got married. Not really a distant friend, let me say. She got married, and eventually she realized that the husband was not really sound in bed. So eventually they took it to their parents, church, and all of that, but they are on the verge of divorce right now as we speak. So they were unable to sort their differences, and eventually they are trying to file for a divorce.
Oh, thank you very much for that question. So I get it right. How can couples handle their challenges? Thank you, Daddy. Over to you, sir.
God bless you, my sister. I'm a kind of person that will not recommend the couple in the process. Marriage is the only university that will get certificate without going through classes, and the classes that will teach us to begin to earn our certificate is to travel along the route together, to learn by falling and rising, by falling and getting up. My wife and I, when we got married, we've already made up our mind. I'm from a poor family, and I lost my father very early in life. My wife has a father and mother, and we made up our mind that we will never take any issues from our marriage to either side of the marriage, either to our own parent or to my parent, because that is always the beginning of trouble in marriage, especially when you are just getting married. I will suggest and counsel that couple take their issue to God first. Because even the people you are taking your problem to, they still have their own problem. Even having been married for 20-30 years, they still have their own problem. And don't forget, the problem you take to that family, to your father-in-law and mother-in-law, either side of the divide, can be multiplied. The problem can be multiplied. It will look to be resolved on the surface, but by the time they begin to call your wife aside or call your husband aside and say, look, we will not take this, and therefore you must not take it, you won't be there. And they will begin to magnify the problem until they get out of order. So I will advise people to sit down. I introduced something to my marriage, not by my sense, but by the leading of the Holy Spirit. We at the beginning of our relationship, we've learned to fast and pray on every prayer, on every situation. But another vital thing is that we learn to talk. Communication is the key.
That's very essential. So I think you're getting there, Daddy. Getting there, Daddy. You're getting there.
Yes.
So the number one, solving or resolving any issue between couples. One,
Yes.
they must learn to manage the couple, the problem or the challenge, or as the case may be, within the marriage. Number two, they must pray and fast about every concern, every issue. Take it to God first. God, there are three persons in the marriage: God, the wife, and the husband. If I'm correct, Daddy.
Certainly.
Number three, what that is saying right now is that you must communicate, talk, always talk. Don't assume that okay, my wife behaved like this to me. He is at me. Always talk about every issue. So thank you very much for this wonderful insight, Daddy.
Communication is key, and I repeat, is key. It's very important. I can wake my wife up at the middle of the night at 2 a.m. at 12 a.m. and say, I want to talk. I'm a talking person, and thank God I have a wife who reciprocates. So we sit down in the middle of the night and talk. After we talk, either we partially get there or we resolve the issue properly, or I always think that I have due respect for my wife, and I will expect every husband to respect their wife. Reason is that these women have taken a lot of risk. They've changed their name because of you, their surname. That's number one. Number two, they are carrying a heavy load on your behalf. Three, they are home builders on your behalf, and not only on the husband's behalf or on both sides of the divide, but on behalf of God. There is only one, there is an invisible person. That is the purpose of ring. That is three cord that is never broken: the husband, the wife, and God.
Wow, thank you, Daddy. God bless you, sir. I think we are almost getting. I believe that God leaded us to be a kind of a monthly or weekly podcast on marriage, because I believe every home out there needs this kind of talk. They may not be able to come and call. Oh, I'm facing that. I'm having this challenge or facing these challenges, and I'm having this issue. But I believe that God will be using this channel or this series of podcasts to bless homes and revive dead relationships. Sir, so because you said earlier that one of the core issues that causes discomfort or that causes marriage split is finance, do you advocate that husband and wife should have common purse or common account? What's your thought on this, sir?
Yes, my opinion, and things that have worked for my wife and I, is that at the onset, we did a three-way kind of thing. I allowed my wife to have an account, and she permitted me also to have my account. But we did something quite unique. We had a third account where we put, I can't remember vividly now, maybe about, after expenses have been taken care of and all these things, if we now have, say we have 50% left, for argument's sake, we agree to put 25% in our joint account on both sides, so that when there is an eventuality, we can draw from, either we want to send money to either of our parents. But one thing my wife has also allowed me to do in the past is to take care of our family and my family without necessarily taking permission. We have a joint account that we can go to, and then we can, discuss it. I've sent this to mommy, I've sent this to daddy, and guess what? It works.
Wow. That's a wonderful one. Do you have any follow-up question, madam? Okay, because we are almost run out of time. There's a 30-minute, and our time is almost up. I believe that we can continue some other time by the grace of God, God willing. If Jesus tarries, we have many more of these. And for our audience out there, stay tuned. Just please follow and subscribe on this channel, and stay tuned for more of godly capsules for every marriage that for every man can use that can sustain the marriage and keep the marriage alive. Because the devil came not to steal, kill, and destroy. And I pray the devil will not destroy or kill or destroy our marriages in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Once again, Pastor Ayo, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence and your time and your insight and your years of experience.
Thank you for
God bless you,
having
sir.
me. Thank you.
Bye bye for now. Bye bye.